Hi guys, Ann here, and today we have a sit-down table talk. I don't know what that was. I just got done filming a bunch of videos for the beauty channel. It is 5:09. Today is Sunday the 29th, and I don't know if I can get this out for you today, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try my hardest. So, where have I been? A lot of you guys have been DMing me and even emailing me like, are you okay? And I'm fine. I think the last time I did a video, I think one here was before Christmas time. I just been chilling with the kids, to be honest with you. And the kids had off for a couple days. Now they go. Isaiah went back to work today. Tyler goes back to work tomorrow. And yeah, I just been chilling with them. Lexi works overnight, and I don't know. I wasn't in a funk, but I'm like, dang, this is my first Christmas. I'm divorced. I don't know. It didn't hit me like that for Thanksgiving. And it's not a sad, because really there's nothing different about it. He was never around anyway, or, it's actually more peaceful with him not being here, my ex-husband, we're not walking on eggshells or nothing. He's not picking arguments so he can leave, But it's just dang, I'm divorced. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. But it was actually really, really good. My kids, Isaiah got me new tires, and the kids got me some things. But I'm most excited they got me a new air fryer, because mine was 4 or 5 years old, maybe even older than that. And I had it to where you would turn it. It was a knob that you would turn the temperature and then the minutes and stuff, right? And it was a nice one because I had 2 racks and stuff, and it was pretty big. And I think about 5 years ago, it was about $130 or something like that. So it was really nice. But what happens is, as time, the knob would get stuck. So if it was on 370 and I'm trying to turn it to 400, it would go to 200, and it would take forever to get to the 400, or the minutes. You'd put it on 5 minutes, and you're trying to get it to 8 minutes, and it would go to 50 minutes. It was just it took forever, and I was always complaining about it. So they finally got me a new one, and this is all touch screen, and it has a preheat button. It's a lot nicer because in 5 years, there's upgrades and stuff, and I love it, and it makes everything even more crispier. I can't explain it. So I've been loving that. But other than that, nothing's really been going on. Well, I did have an issue last week. I called. So we still have oil for our heat. This house was built in 1900. And my mom and them never converted it over to gas heating. And so oil is very expensive. It's $600-700 to fill up the tank. And it only lasts 2 months, 2.5 months tops, right? And I didn't realize we were getting so low, and I called. We were on less than a quarter tank, a little higher than an eighth, but a little less than a quarter, and they were supposed to come on Friday to come fill up Thursday or Friday, I can't remember, to come fill up our tank. Well, they call me and say that they only have one driver, and he's out still. He won't come back until Monday. So we were on less than an eighth, and we had to stop using our heat, because if you run out of oil, then they charge $150, $200 to bleed it, or whatever you have to do. And it's just me. I don't have, I don't know. The kids don't know how to do that. And so we couldn't use heat. And I took pictures. One time it was 41 degrees in the house, 30. It was cold. So I stayed in my room because, we have that little fireplace. Now, I do have those space heaters, but yeah, when you're right in front of it, keeps you warm, but the air around you. It was a hot mess. Today is pretty nice. I'm getting a little overheated in just this, because I think it's 5:13 and it's 57 degrees out today. So the house, I think, is at 60, which is perfect for me, a lot warmer. But there for a while it was cold, and I didn't want to film then, and then it was raining, so I couldn't go outside and film. But you ever when it feels colder in the house than outside? That's how it was. But that's my own fault. I wait to the last minute, but then again, I don't check. I always forget to go check how much oil we have. It's just weird now that the kids are older. And maybe that's why I realized, oh, I'm divorced. It's because, yes, they stay with me, for Christmas and stuff. And then I cooked dinner. I made a ham. Oh, I'll tell you about that in a minute. And, but then right after dinner, Isaiah leaves to go to his girlfriend's house, her parents' house, which, I mean, he's 20, of course, right? And then Lexi, she left to go to her dad's house. And then from our dad's house, she had to go to work because she works overnights. And then Tyler, he watched because there was a football game on. So he watched the game with me and then he went. So I was like basically by myself, which is fine. I'm glad that they have a life. I don't need them with me all the time. But it was like, and then my friend, his kids are there and I still haven't met them. He's asked me and I get very attached easily, and I don't know. I want to make sure everything is good. I'm meeting up with him tomorrow, and I think he got me something for Christmas, and I didn't get him anything because I'm like, is it too soon? But I think he did, and I'm going to feel very awkward, and I don't know, should I go get him something? But what do I get him? You know what I mean? Like what? I don't know. I don't even know what to get him. Look, I'm getting nervous. This is one of the hair things that I went to the hair store. Remember we vlogged and it was like really curly. And then all I do is I just take my fingers like this. You see that? To make it where it's not as curly. See? And I just keep doing that to make it natural. And also, if you ever get a hair piece, like this is Remy, so this is not real hair, so like I could put heat on it or what have you. But if you ever get something like synthetic that's too shiny, you would just take dry shampoo and spray it on and then, run your fingers through. But like I said, this is real hair, so it tends not to be like shiny. But you can like wash these if they start going bad, because a few of you asked me how long they last. I usually keep mine about, I don't know, depends how many times I wear it. If about between 3 to 6 months, it all depends. They're cheap enough, what was this, 15, 16 bucks? And, and then like I said, if it gets too frizzy, like say you're outside and it's windy or what have you, wash it with the gentle, you could use baby shampoo, with the gentle shampoo, and then you would just lay it out on a towel and let it air dry, but with Remy hair or what have you, you can, if this was I could use a flat iron on it, I can curl it or what have you, and it won't damage the hair. Now synthetic hair, you can't do that. You got to make sure you can't add heat to it or it'll just break right off, But this is like something close to what my hair was when I had hair. It was like this. This is something I do want to talk about because I did talk a little bit about this when I did my Get Ready With Me. And I used this palette from Mad Witch Cosmetics. This is one of the palette that on my new channel, I'm Just Ann, that Tammy one. To reach our 1,000 subscribers. I still got to do my cartwheel, which I have to do that this week. I got to do it. Lexi was supposed to be filming me, so waiting on her, I might as well just set my tripod up and do it myself. But I want to talk about this too. Like I did talk about it last time I think I vlogged or something, that, with the holidays, it's tough on a lot of people, right? If I'm moving around a lot, my back's just been hurting a lot. But the holidays are hard on a lot of people because why? We see all of these like, oh, I'm so happy, pictures of the family with their kids and videos and all of this stuff, which is nice. And then you have, some people that are, their kids are grown, or you may not have kids, or, you're not in a great marriage, or you just got divorced, or maybe you lost a family member, or lost a parent, or what have you. And it just could be harder. Maybe you don't have any friends, or you're lonely, you're by yourself, or what have you. And then we see all these things and we start feeling depressed, because we don't have that. And I've said this before, just because you see it doesn't make it true. You know that saying, believe nothing that you hear and only half of what you see. And what that means is, you might see something. For instance, let's say I'm married, right? And, somebody might see me out to dinner with another man. And it may look like, oh, she must be having an affair. But maybe that's my cousin. Or a business, or my boss, or what have you, and maybe I'm his assistant, whatever the case may be. So just because you see it doesn't mean, that's why they say only believe half of what you see, because sometimes what you're seeing is not what it is, what you think it is, right? And don't believe anything you hear, because people could tell you things that doesn't mean it's true. And I've shared this before when I used to film with my ex-husband, right? Everybody would say, oh, you guys look so cute together. Oh, but you see, we got a divorce. I only showed you what I wanted to show you. I remember filming with him and stuff, and he on camera would always be like, oh, you're so beautiful. Or he would look at me and stare at me. Now, on camera, it looked like I was being a bitch, right? Because, I would always edit stuff out. Like, will you stop? Because that's not how he is in real life. And it was too fake. Like every 5 minutes, he'd say, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, and he would say this on camera because he wanted to make himself look good, but it was just too fake. And I'm like, stop being fake. This is not. And so it would look like I had an attitude when he's trying to be nice, but so you didn't know the full picture, right? And so a lot of you guys were shocked when I said we were getting divorced, right? Well, I'm not going to show you or film when we're not happy. Sometimes we had good days and we filmed, or we put on a front, And that's what a lot of people do. They put on this front as couples, and then you wonder why, then you see oh, they're getting divorced. I thought they looked so happy. Well, a lot of times people fake for pay, and that's just the truth. And I'm not saying all marriages are like that and all families are like that, but I'm saying some are. Even these fake YouTube friendships. Now, there are some that really are good friends, but a lot of them are fake. They don't really like each other. They do it for the views. That's the truth, Or you find out that maybe they don't like you like them, or they only need you for a certain thing, and then when they don't need you anymore, it's like this. It's so much fakeness, right? Or you look on Instagram where they're showing you all these happy homes and this and that. That doesn't make it true. Like I said, I'm not saying it's not, but it doesn't make it true. So we can't look at things and then feel bad that we don't have it. I say this all the time. I'd rather just have one friend that I know is a good friend that cares about me than have 10 or 15 or 20 people that don't give a fuck about me. You know what I'm saying? That talks behind my back, that wants to set me up, that doesn't care if other people attack me for them or what have you. They don't care. I always say it's by actions. Do they show they care? Okay, I've shared this before. I remember I was so depressed that I'd rather have people that treated me like crap just to have somebody in my life. Especially when I lost my mother and grandmother. My kids were, when they get a certain age, they want to be around their friends and talk to their friends. They stay in their rooms a lot. I wasn't in a great marriage, so I was always by myself. Always. My ex-husband would be in the dining room on the computer all the time in meetings, or he would leave and say he was going to meetings or what have you, or on these vacations or what have you, or I'd be watching TV. He's on, it wasn't like he was really there. And I was very lonely. And so if I could talk to somebody on the phone or DM or what have you, or, it was like I'd rather have that than nothing because I was desperate. I was so broken and so sad that I'd rather put up with that knowing that I had somebody to talk to. Does that make, I know it sounds so stupid. Now I look at it what the hell was wrong with me, But I was severely depressed. And I look at my husband, my ex-husband, think, why did I stay 12, 13 years with somebody that treated me like that? It's not like I'm ugly, I can't get anybody. I know I'm not all that. It's not like I don't have things going. Why did I put up with it? One, for health insurance, and my kids having health insurance, but what else? Because I could have got, I use that as an excuse, but why? And because at that time, it was at least I had somebody here, even if he was in the other room or didn't talk to me. If I wanted to say hi or ask a question, it was somebody physically there. I'd rather have that than nothing. And that's sad. That's so sad. I've shared this before. I wasn't always a good friend, right? As far as when I was going through things, I made it all about me. Oh, we don't have heat because we didn't have heat for 3 years. Or, it was I was always walking on eggshells. Or I was always, now that you guys know, I was always the one paying bills, especially when COVID hit and the views, especially on the beauty channel and stuff, I wasn't getting paid what I was getting. And my health, it's not like I could work a 9-to-5 job, and in the very beginning, you guys didn't know I didn't have a car, he had a car, but it doesn't matter. I was just miserable and mean. I was grieving my mother and grandmother. I was hurt because I knew I wasn't in a good marriage. Every day my ex-husband would pick arguments with my son, and like they would go, and the walking on eggshells where I would have to, like, because I didn't have a car to go anywhere and leave anywhere at that time, I would go in my kids' room where there was a lock on the door. Of course, they weren't home. I wanted to make sure I kissed his ass all the time because when my son was here, I didn't want my son, Tyler, to hear me and my ex arguing, or him hearing the way my ex talked to me, because I knew my son would say something. And I was scared, let's keep it real, somebody was going to get killed. I thought something, like, you don't understand, it was bad. And my ex-husband would do things deliberately because he wanted to get my son angry. I don't know what he thought. Like, he thought what, I would kick my son out of the house, like I would choose him over my son, especially when he's not even helping me with bills. My husband wasn't helping me with bills or nothing. No, my kids were the ones helping me, and this was my mother's house. My mother, she was alive, she'd never. No. I always say actions show. When my nephew passed away, he was 21. When we had the house fire, did anybody come here to help? No. When I had my heart attack, did anybody come to the hospital or check on me, see if I was okay? No. When my mother died, my grandmother died, did anybody say, do you need me to come to the funeral, the viewing? Do you need any help? No. When I moved in here, did anybody help? No. When I went through my divorce, did anybody say, come on, let's go out to eat? No. See, actions show. And that should have showed me who my friends were and who they weren't. Now, my real good friends, they live out of state. Across the country. It's not like a state over, But I still rather have that than have no one. Why? And I say this not to bring up any type of, that's not what I'm saying. I say this because what I learned in 2024 was one of the biggest lessons I've learned. That sometimes it's okay not to be okay. It's okay. You don't have to be okay. See, I used to care when people were mad at me. I was the first one to say, I'm sorry. Because I didn't want anybody mad with me. I didn't want anybody else to leave. Because I thought everybody was going away. Or if I was dealing with, let's say, drama on YouTube or what have you, people would just, they didn't want to be bothered. Which everybody has the right. That's not what I'm saying. But at the time, I was feeling like everybody was leaving. And people will call me toxic or how come she has so many things going wrong? Well, I don't know. Do you think I wanted my mother to die on Thanksgiving on a holiday? Do you think I wanted my daughter to almost die? Do you think I wanted my grandmother to die? Do you think I wanted to have a house fire? Do you think, no. I didn't want these things. Do you think I wanted to have a heart attack and almost dying? That should have told me right there who my friends were. I almost died. And instead, people were trying to have things going on, which most of you guys know what that was. It was like, wow. So my point to all that is saying, when you feel like you're by yourself, sometimes it's better to be by yourself. That is my point to all of this. Sometimes having all these people around you, that's not always better. Because now that I look at it, like, I wish I was just by myself. You know what I do? I share this all the time. This is what I do. Even my friends, okay, they will tell you that I talk to all the time. I don't talk on the phone like I used to. I don't talk like that all the time. Sometimes people have to say, hey, you okay? Send smoke emojis or something. Because I'm reading my Bible. I'm not looking at YouTube and all that type of stuff. I mean, sometimes I do. But no, that's what I'm doing. And that's what I wish I would have done when I was going through all that, instead of trying to have people around me that didn't really give a fuck rat's ass about me. They didn't care. Right? It's by people's actions. I have an issue of letting go. That's my problem. But that only hurts you. So that's why I say sometimes, that's why I'm always saying, think of the positives instead of the negatives. I'm okay. I always thought something was wrong with me because I was always depressed or grieving. But that's okay. It is okay not to be okay. It's okay. You know, what I learned in 2024 is, you know, like I've said this before, when my mother and all them passed, I should have took a break from YouTube, but I didn't. And now you guys know why. It's because I had to make money, right? Because I didn't have anybody helping me. And at that time, when my husband was still living with me, the kids didn't, well, especially Tyler, he didn't help me like he did, because I wasn't going to tell him, well, he ain't giving me no money, my husband isn't giving me money to help. I try to always make my husband look better than what he was, right? I literally just lost my whole train of thought. That's what I was saying. So what I learned is, so instead of me taking a break or what have you, this time around, going through this divorce really, really hurt me because of how the divorce went. Like I shared this before. I found out through a text message. My ex-husband, there was court I didn't know anything about. He knew I wasn't there. You think he was going to, he knows I always show up for court. He wanted it that way. It was a Zoom meeting. He texted me afterwards to show me the divorce paperwork. 12 years, 13 years, 12 years, right? That I paid for everything. Everything I put up with. What my kids had to deal with. Because I couldn't let go. I wanted my marriage to work. I always thought it'll get better. How he did me. It was so wrong. You remember I told you he quit his job and then started a new job so he didn't have to put me on insurance. He doesn't matter. I'll never forget one thing that he told me. He said, another reason I didn't want to be married is because I would be scared every time I came home I would find you dead. Because my health was so bad. But you didn't care I didn't have health insurance. I mean, what? Who says that? So you knew my health is bad. You know I have a bad heart. You know I have kidney issues. But what you put me through was so, it's like the stress. I don't know, I keep going back and forth because I just have so many thoughts in my mind. And sometimes I don't know how to articulate or say what I want to say. And it's like, I could have did bad all by myself. And so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, just be grateful. That's why I always say be grateful for what you have. You may not have nobody that you know, maybe have a lot of friends or family, but you might have your health. You can see. There's people that are blind that would do anything to see. There's people that can't walk that are in a wheelchair. There's people that their children are in a cancer center and aren't going to be home for the holidays or maybe be here in 2025. And you might have healthy children. There's people that are burying their children right now, and you're not. So be grateful for what you have and be thankful. And sometimes it's more of a headache having all these people in your life. You know how they say having more money is more problems? I'll never forget my friend Joanne told me one time, because she has a lot of sisters and brothers. And I just say, God, you're so lucky. I wonder what it's like to have a sibling, you know. And she said, and then she would tell me, well, this is fighting this one and this one and this one. And I look back, I'm like, oh, that's true. Because it's just more problems, right? Having a big family doesn't always mean happy. 2024 taught me a lot of lessons and taught me about me and what I'm grateful for. And I just can't wait to 2025. I wish I could share some of the things that's happening in 2025. Just in the next 2 weeks, me leaving, going somewhere out of state to film something. And I'm glad that the people that's out of my life is out of my life for what's going to come in 2025. I always say sometimes God doesn't bless us. He doesn't bless you with other people that are in your life that don't deserve blessings yet. Because sometimes the people that are in your life, if he blesses you, that means they get blessed. And they ain't ready to get blessed. So until you get them out of your life is when you get blessed. And I notice since my husband and other people are out of my life, I have been having nothing but blessings. Now listen, I ain't perfect. Okay, what I need to learn, what I learned in 2024 is stop my damn venting. And when I'm hurt about something, shut the hell up and just let people go instead of venting and being hurt. I need to work on that because I'm not perfect. But what I need to, and that's what I've been just letting go. And I'm telling you what, since I have been doing that, it has been blessing after blessing after blessing. You know what I mean? And I like being by myself. I never thought I would say that because I'm such a people person, but I like it. And I'm really starting to like me. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I'm all over the place. These coffee talks, I don't even know what they're about. Like, I might have a topic to talk about, but then they get all over the place because I start getting like really raw. I don't know. But my point to all of this is just because you see it doesn't mean that's what it is. And just be happy for what you have because it could always be worse. Christmas Day, we went and fed the homeless, me and my daughter, right? And I looked at that like, gosh, I'm listening to somebody tell me how they lost their mom and all of this. And I'm like, yeah, I lost my mom too. But this person's also, they lost their mother and they're homeless. I'm not homeless. So why am I so sad? Like, what? I got more than what a lot of people have. Does that make sense? And so do you. 2025 is going to be a good year for all of us. That's another reason why I started that new channel, which, like I said, my kids were off. I was spending time with them. And I'm going to get back to doing live streams. And if it's just an hour every few days where we can just, you know, going through some things and it's just be a happy place. No drama, nothing, you know. So definitely this week, today's Sunday. This probably won't go up till tomorrow. But we're going to start going live again. And, you know, we'll do that. So make sure you subscribe to that channel. Check out my beauty channel. I'm changing it up. It's not going to be all unboxings anymore. So I'll leave that video down below that explains a little bit more. But I'm getting off of here because I'm all over the place. Please thumbs up this video. It really does help me out. Thumbs up the video if you like these table talks, even though they're all over the place. Don't forget to leave a comment. Commenting really does help out with engagement. Even if it's just an emoji, it would mean the absolute world to me. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay healthy, and most importantly, always stay you. Never let somebody take you out of your character. Do as I say, not as I do. Bye. I don't even know if I should upload this video because what the heck was my point? I was so all over the place. That's what happens when you don't film for a week. Bye.